What's up, guys? Welcome back to EXP Share, where I share my experience of becoming the biggest artist on the planet. Today is officially episode 14. I decided to pair up the last two episodes since they're in the same day, and I still have nothing to talk about. Right now is currently, goddamn, let's see if I can, oh shit, show you on here. I don't know if y'all can see this, but it is 5:24 a.m. It's the earliest I've woken up in months. And it's because I have my son with me, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the dad thing, and wake up mad early before my son wakes up, get my workout in, and then take him to daycare. Downtown is mad loud, bro. Holy moly. I'm not gonna lie, I was hella inspired just now. I didn't really capture it because it was hella in the moment, but even now you can still see it. Or can you still see it? How do I show you this? If you look down here, you can see the bus, the 77 bus. I don't think I can zoom in. It's 5:20 something, and motherfuckers is already getting on that bus, laughing and joking around with each other, joking with the bus driver. I'm thinking like, damn, what a life. Like, I'm sure obviously you get used to it, you feel me? Even at my job at Nike, we have people who clock in at 6 a.m., you feel me? So if that's your schedule, you get used to it. You wake up mad early, you go to sleep mad early, it is what it is. But I just think that's mad inspirational, that's mad inspiring. It's really dope that at all hours, there's always people out working you. A lot of people like to pretend like there's no competition out here in this world, and it's really weird. Like, it's just something that we've collectively decided as a culture and like as part of the agenda that we're gonna tell kids that, oh, don't worry, there's no competition, it's just you versus you. And although that's true in certain aspects, the reality is we tell each other, you have to remember that telling yourself that it's you versus you is just a mechanism to keep you in the competition against other people. I know that I'm only competing against myself when I do 75 hard. But the reason I'm doing 75 hard is so that I have a better chance at competing with other people. You feel me? So never forget that there's someone out there hungrier than you. Never forget that there's someone out there willing to do stuff that you're not willing to do. Alex Hormozi had a great framework on this, and I'm going to try my best to paraphrase it because he said it in such a great way. But the idea is that, okay, so like a lot of times, especially in my scenario, but in your scenario too, if you're watching this and you're kind of a unreasonable person, some people will be like, okay, but like, I get what you're doing, it's cool, but like, you shouldn't be unreasonable. Like, you should have balance, or you don't have to go that far, or it's a little bit extreme. No, they'll say stuff like that. Fuck that. Nothing great was ever accomplished by someone who was balanced. Nothing great was accomplished by someone who wasn't willing to push themselves to certain extremes to get to the results that they wanted to get to. That's the reality. People like us have to be unbalanced for certain seasons, you feel me? Not for our entire lives, but for certain seasons when we're trying to produce greatness, when we're trying to induce greatness in ourselves and therefore into the world. So that way all the rest of the motherfuckers who want to live balanced can enjoy their balanced lives, because we create a path for them to do that. And a lot of people just wake up and they live in this world that was built by a lot of unbalanced, extreme motherfuckers who had a vision and did not rest until that vision was executed. And they just take it for granted. They just think that it's just something like, yeah, you could be like them too. It's like, nah, you can't, bruh. And so you can, but you have to be willing to also go to those levels, because those levels were not reached by just, working a half hour a day and enjoying time off every week. You feel me? He said something to the effect of, okay, so, yeah, this thing's loud as hell. I hope we, okay, yeah. He said something to the effect of, okay, so Pete, right? Imagine like there was let's say in my case with music, right? So let's say there's me. I make music maybe like a couple hours a week, right? I'm working on my music a couple hours a week. And there's some kid out there right now, he works on music 8 hours a day. Is it reasonable to think that the kid who works on music 8 hours a day is more likely to succeed than I am? Yes, it is reasonable. Therefore, what you're saying is that it's reasonable to think that in order to achieve what you want, you should put in as much time as humanly possible and sacrifice more than other people. Would you agree that someone who's willing to sacrifice more than someone else is probably going to beat that person at whatever they're trying to do? And be like, yeah, well, you're probably going to win. If you're willing to sacrifice more and that person isn't willing to sacrifice it, then when push comes to shove, you're going to be the one that ends up on top. It's like, okay, so you're telling me that what I'm doing is unreasonable. You're telling me that what I'm doing is unbalanced. At the same time, you're admitting that it makes perfect sense that if I want to achieve this goal specifically, then what I'm doing makes sense. And that's all it is. It's just understanding perspectives and goals. I understand that a lot of people in my life don't have the same goal I do. And that was a hard fucking realization. I don't know why it took me so long to realize. But one of the reasons why I don't hang out with my friends that much is because I was the most ambitious person in the room. Now, it's a very key word, okay? I'm not the smartest person, even though I probably am in a lot of scenarios. But I know I'm not actually the smartest person, because what is intelligence, right? How do you measure it? All that bullshit. But I can say with confidence that 99% of the time, in pretty much every room that I'm in, I'm the most ambitious person, which is great for other people because I'm constantly being told that I inspire them to want to do more and do better. Then where the fuck does that leave me? It's not fucking fair. I need someone that, I don't need them, but I would have loved to have someone in my circle that was more ambitious than I was, that was constantly leading in a way that I could look up to and model myself after. But no, instead I had to be that fucking leader. And it's cool because I'm going to be leading RPG and I'm going to be leading this movement. So I had to be a leader. I had to learn that, you can't wait around for someone else to, fucking Gurren Lagan. I forget his name. I'm sorry. I know it's fucked up, but it's been a while. But imagine Gurren Lagan, like the Big Brother character. Like, I would have loved to have him, so I could model myself after him. But no, instead I had to be him for a lot of my friends. And I just couldn't keep doing that shit. It's like, all right, if y'all want to do that, that's cool. If y'all look up to me that way, then this is the path that I'm taking. You feel me? Yes, it's extreme. Yes, it's weird as fuck. Yes, it's unreasonable. And yes, it's going to be annoying for a certain period of my life. I don't know how long it's going to last. It could be, I've been doing 75 hard for the last 4 months. I started in early May, and it's the middle of August now because I failed a couple times. And I just wasn't willing to stop until I achieved my goal. So I say that to say, shout out to Alex, because he really put it into perspective when I watched that video, how it's like, yes, what you're doing might seem unreasonable to other people, but it's because they don't have the same goals. Simple as that. What is your goal? What is the outcome you're looking for? Okay, are you willing to do certain things to achieve that outcome? And if it makes logical sense to do those certain things to achieve the outcome that you want, but you are not willing to do it, then why are you not willing to do it? Usually it's because there's an emotional response attached to it, okay? So that working on music or doing 75 hard or pushing yourself to the limit to get certain things done and to develop your mental discipline is going to take a toll on your family relationships. It's going to take a toll on your friendships. It might take a toll on your work life. You might have to call out a couple days because you're just so tired. You might have to sleep at work or skip or be late. That you're not going to be spending as much time with your friends and they might resent you for it. That you're not going to be able to spend time with girls even though you tried. Even though you did it anyways. But if you do that, you're going to sacrifice a lot of the mental focus that you were doing so much to garner in the first place. You might have to spend some time away from music for now, so that when you go back to the music, you're going to be way more focused and way more locked in than ever. Are you willing to sacrifice those things? And if you're not, then you have to figure out why. I'm willing to go as far as possible. Like I'm throwing everything away. I don't give a fuck. I'm sick of this life. I don't know about y'all, and I understand a lot of times it's because y'all haven't gone through enough pain. Like I said in one of the earlier episodes, once you've gone through enough pain, it becomes very easy to sacrifice because you hate everything around you so much that you're willing to throw it all away. But in a lot of y'all's cases, your lives aren't that bad, and that's just the reality. That's how you know what someone's been through or not, how much they've been willing to sacrifice. Because if your life is great and you're willing to sacrifice, that's some tough shit. Like, kudos to you. But if your life is shitty, of course it's gonna be easier to sacrifice. I don't put myself on a pedestal. I'm sure a lot of people in my same scenario would probably do the same thing. At least I would hope so. But then at the same time, I know a lot of people who are in similar scenarios, and instead of trying to find a way out, they just bitch and moan and complain all day. So I do give myself props for actually looking for a solution and executing on it, because it's not easy to do. But it would have been a lot easier to just smoke weed and complain all day with my friends. That's what I did for the past 6 years. I'm done doing that. So yeah, like I said, I butchered it completely. If you want to watch the actual 16-minute podcast that explains it way, way better, go to Alex Hormozy. He has a podcast called The Game that's really, really good. And he explained it super, super well. But yeah, basically just looking for the emotions that are triggering you, that are causing you, that are holding you back from doing something, whether it's fear of failure, whether it's fear of looking stupid in front of people, whether it's fear of looking like a failure, because that's what he said. He said, remember, failing doesn't make you a failure. It just means that you failed. And that was a good perspective. I mean, I had already looked at it like that somewhat, because I figure the more I fail, just the better the story is going to be at the end of the day. The more you fail, the more you overcome adversity. When you finally overcome it, it's going to just inspire way more people. It's going to have such a much bigger impact because of what you went through. You know, everyone loves, you guys are going to hear it on the project. There's like a Joe Rogan sample at the very beginning of the project that explains it really, really well. But the idea is just like, you know, if I was just like a 17, 18-year-old kid that started producing in college in my dorm, and I started making music, and, you know, I just got lucky, and after a couple years of making music, I just popped off, right? Boom. Yo, he makes great music. It's super dope. I love him so much, blah, 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 blah. Would have been great. Great story. But those kids oftentimes end up falling off so hard because they didn't have to work for it as hard. Like, yes, you had to work for it through the music, but you didn't have to go through the life shit. And so they become artists, but they didn't actually have to grind through those years of just sucking at life and enjoying what it means to actually get to be free enough to make music all day. Which is why I'm really grateful for my journey. Like, I'm grateful that I have to wake up at 5:20 a.m. today, and I get to document this moment so that other people can see, like, oh damn, like, okay, so that's what he's willing to do. He's not just gonna say, oh well, I have my son with me, so I can't work out, sorry. Like, now mind you, I am doing a walk today. I didn't actually plan this, but now it's perfect because my workout schedule is perfectly on time, so that my rest day is going to be when I have my son, which makes it easy, so I can just do a walk in the morning and then do a run at night. Well, I say easy, but you try running 4.5 miles in 45 minutes and tell me how easy that is. But at least in the morning I can get the walk in, I can recover. Last night's ruck killed me, I'm not gonna lie. My back was fucked up, but I feel better now. So yeah, I don't know when y'all are watching this. Hopefully it's like mad years into the future and you can gain some perspective on this. That's all I got. Peace.